We're common loaded for bear. Saturday morning. All right, my birthday is coming up, so I got some time off of work. So I'm hoping to jam and get some stuff done. Finally gonna pull out the blown motor out of that deal. And from the last video, put this unit in. I gotta pull the pan back off, put a little goop at the seam here, and then torque it down. There's a couple of spots. I welded all the way around this pan, and it's lousy. I don't even want to show you guys, but this thing's old and it leaked, and I was tired of it. So that's the plan. I need to pick up my mess from selling a bunch of engine parts, which I still have for sale. Me and my boy came out here and dropped the tranny down. That's probably the first time he's ever like actually mechanicked on the car with me, which is cool because he's 9. Yeah, so gonna pull all this stuff out, pull that out, tidy some stuff up in here, and then set that in here. Upgrades for the tranny. So there's 2 things I want to do before next season, and one of them is I need a different stator in here. I'd like to tighten it up a little bit, and then I'd like to put a different gear in here. Some of the parts that I got from the new car that I bought was a 457 10-inch third. That's got a 430 in it, and it needs just a little more gear. So we're going to do that. And then this thing, I'm going to strip everything out of there that's good, and probably send the crank off to get it fixed because it's a really nice crank. And then sell this block, and it needs welded, or it could be a good project for somebody with the head studs. And then, yeah, start working on another special project that I'll show you guys later on. Well, isn't she pretty? This old bullet is in here, ready to go. I had to take a break and go to a birthday party, and that took 4 hours. So didn't get as much done as I wanted to today, but got this thing on the stand. Crank needs some work. Block needs some work, but this actually isn't horrible. Yeah, and I probably got 6 spare pistons now. This is another reason, like, this cam was expensive because it's S7. But dude, none of those lobes, like, that thing needs clean, but it can just be ran. It's probably not even twisted. So it's awesome. And yeah, I forgot I had a titanium hub in that thing. That thing is featherweight light. So yeah, strip the gear drive out of this thing and pull the crank, take some miscellaneous parts, dude, and then sell this thing to somebody that wants a project. And then maybe start working on something else. Washed this thing off, took some pictures of it, cleaned it up. It's ready for sale. I'm gonna sell it. Somebody like me. So if you're new to the channel, them there's patches, but thing needs a little bit of love. It's actually not that bad. You should have seen all this stuff. You can go back in my other videos and watch that. But that thing just needs welded up. Well, I posted that block for sale, and here come the clowns, here comes the circuits. Now I realize I'm not gonna get all combative on some Facebook posts with stuff for sale, but I race as thrifty as possible. And so there's like a lot of guys busting my balls. Like, why are you selling junk? Dude, my whole program is nothing but junk parts that nobody wants, including this. Look, block's been windowed and fixed. That was a Brad billet block. And yeah, anyway, that's what happens to these things, dude. Unless you got a sponsor that is buying you new blocks all the time, which I do not and would welcome. This outfit, they have sponsors, so they got to use how this block. It has saddles. And this is like one of the nicest things I got over here. So, you know, haters are fans too. I don't really give a fuck, but I'm going to sell that thing. I already got guys in my messages about it. I listed it for 950 bucks. And so I'm going to weld that up. Another me across the country that races on the cheap. And I'm going to be cutting this out for a factory Chrysler starter, because that's what I use. So, making marks. I'm going to flip this thing up on end. Anyway, I'm just posting up. I'm trying to keep you guys included in my weekend, but man, that shit just pisses me off. Like, I realize that some people have a bunch of money. Like, this was a Bryant billet crank. It doesn't say. Bryant Racing. This was a really nice crank. And blower guys don't really want these because it's double keyed. So they'd rather have a spline drive. And that thing's a little wounded, but it's probably fixable. It might not be. But, you know, that's a $5,000, $6,000 crank new. And I probably got a smoking deal on it. And I have another crank in here that is ready to use. It's in my boxes. But yeah, there's a Bryant billet crank in there. Almost everything I got to use, man. So anyway, I'm just venting and bitching. Thanks for listening to me. Let's cut this block out. Ballsy? Yep. If you guys have ever seen me drive, team fucking no lift. Ballsy right here. So I'm going to vacuum this up, and then I'm going to put that plate on, and I'm going to go grab a starter and make sure it fits. Not too bad. All right, on the stand it goes. All right, I was talking on the phone. Got my 415 Bryant billet crank in here. This thing can be dope. Yeah. Got new pistons and rods for this. Gonna start cleaning some parts up here, and I got some mock-up bearings in here. Just to start checking clearances, and I'm gonna test fit all the rods and pistons this time and go through and check all my bearing clearances and make sure everything is dialed in. Then we come over here and we got a little secret for you guys. You guys excited? So those are cool. I'm gonna start test fitting those. We got rocker gear, and we got an intake, and we got finally gonna have the same stuff. Sorry, you guys probably can't hear me. Let's edit this out. So we are gonna have the same cool shit everyone else has. Been a lot of hustling and scrambling. There's my intake. Down there's 2 sets of rocker gear. And I had originally bought all these Brad 5s to run, but these needed a bunch of work. The other ones were ready to go, but I thought if I sold both of those, and I already sold the assembled ones, I'm just that much closer to having a better head. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger, bought that stuff. So Brad billet block, Brad 8 heads, S7 camshaft. I'm going to scrounge up all the parts out of these and put them in a box, because these pistons are the same that's in that motor. Connecting rods can go in the garbage. But anyway, this thing is going to be rad. So we're test fitting everything. I'm going to throw the old oil pan on there and kind of run through everything. Just make sure everything fits. And then I know that it could come apart and get cleaned and assembled. So I'm just going to keep plunking away at this thing. Yeah. But I'm going to call this the end of the video. So cut a starter, cut a billet block, cleaned everything up. We got a crank in there. We've stripped down the busted ass motor, stripped it for parts, which I already have 2 guys wanting to buy that block. So all the haters out there, they're like, meh. Yeah, there's a bunch of idiots like me. Anyway, thanks for following along. Smash that like button and subscribe.